should be streaming. Got it. Okay, perfect. So let me just pull it up on my phone to make sure everything is good, and then we can get started. Yep, it is working. Almost dropped my phone. Okay, Hope, I am so happy to talk with you today, and I'm so grateful that you're taking the time out of your schedule to come on and talk to me about everything, the retreat. And at the end of this talk, I really want to talk to you about your latest offerings too. So I want to remember to ask that.
Absolutely.
So I first want to start by saying Hope Taylor is an amazing psychic medium. And what year did we meet, Hope?
2017. So we've been working through, I know we want to talk about the retreat, but we've been working on membership together for many years.
Yes.
I did unlock your intermedium. I did, I did so many different courses. The business course. Yep. And the retreat and the mastermind.
So it's been
I might have forgot one or two, but
I know. And I always love working with you. So that's why I'm like, I wanted to make it a point to ask you to come on, because I feel like you really, like, whenever you share just with your heart. And I feel like there's been so much that has taken place over the course of, I don't know how many years since 2017. But I would love to talk about really just before the retreat, because a lot of people are listening and thinking, you know, what is the retreat about and who's showing up on the retreat? So can you tell me, like, where you were at in your life before you actually signed up for the retreat? Like, what made you take that leap?
Absolutely. So I signed up for the retreat right around the time that we were experiencing, I believe, COVID. I'm not positive, but I'm almost positive. Does that make sense? Because we had to, like, it was before the lockdown, but it, like, then we kind of pivoted.
Exactly.
And I, at that point in my life, had taken your business course. I had no idea that I was going to quit my day job. I really didn't. I just was offering mediumship because it was something that was so healing and felt right. My uncle passing, it felt like something I can do to honor him, and that I should, because I can. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just where I was at. And I really wanted to get clear, because I was getting all of these different signs and all of these different nudges that I was going to do this full time.
Yeah.
So when I did take that leap, I was like, wow, if you're going to be in this situation, you better pony up and make sure that you're doing all you can to make sure you're, you know, giving as much as you can. And you know, I feel like investing in ourselves really allows us to be clear on where we're going. And I'm a medium that's very clear with how I work. And I believe that there's a reason for that. And that's, you helped me get very clear with all of the different things that we've worked on. You know, you have a podcast with your husband that is amazing. And that's kind of a great way to get to know you. I feel that's where we developed that trust, even though it wasn't two-way at that point. But I was like, you know, I need to just get a little bit more clarity. And your retreat offers a little bit of everything that you offer in these bigger capacities. Is that true? Would you say?
It does. No, it really does make sense. It's funny because Tony and I always talk about the podcast. For some people, we might not know until after that they might have been like connecting over the podcast, and then taking it in person kind of brings everything together. So it makes so much sense on what you're sharing too.
Yeah. And I don't know if I ever did share that with you. So it might be news,
I think you did. I think you did, actually. You told us during one of our things, you did share that with us. So, okay, what were you feeling? What were those feelings of feeling hesitant? Because I know everyone has a feeling of, like, right before committing to show up to a retreat with a bunch of people that you might not know.
So for me personally, I'm a pretty independent woman. I really enjoy having my own space, and I get easily drained by being around a lot of people, and like the structure at times can be a lot for me. And I know that you guys could probably see it, you know, on and off with my, I mean, it's anxiety, but it's not necessarily connected to, like, I don't know how else to say it, but I went through a lot. And
Yeah.
I just kind of need to feel safe. And I already felt safe with you. And I know that the people that are attracted to you would be my people. Um, but there was something about like that fear part, or that
Yeah.
underlying like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. But when you go into your logical brain, you're like, of course it is. You just got
Yeah.
to push past that. The other thing, when you first quit your job, you're like, oh my gosh, am I going to be making any money? So
Yes.
am I hesitant to spend money? Of course. But
Yes.
also, you need to get past everything that's holding you back so that you
Hmm.
can get to the other side of that.
Right.
I
That,
know
no, that's
people will say
true.
that.
That's
Mhm.
so true. So what was like that decide when after you chose that to come on the retreat,
Yeah.
um, and you showed up, what was your favorite pieces to it, or what made you feel like, okay, I'm at ease a little bit once I got there?
It was really interesting how we had the option of going. This is gonna like be so weird to share this part of it, but I'm whatever. I'll just fly my weird
Yeah,
flag.
that's
So
okay.
you know how everything just aligns perfectly? Like it's just so strange that the only person that was flying into there's two airport options, but it was me and
Yes,
Debbie.
I know. Yes.
And then we shared a car.
Yep.
And then like it was so crazy. We have so many synchronicities that it like blows your mind. Like
I
right down
know.
to like we were dressed almost identical when we would
Oh,
come
were
out of our
you?
rooms,
I forgot about that. No, I
even
because
the
I was
bathing
talking.
suits.
I was talking to Debbie and I was like, did you guys know each other before? Because I forgot. And she said you hadn't met before at all. Like
No,
you, and I forgot
no.
about that. Because
And
I
it's
kept thinking
just,
that the two of you were always
no.
together.
And we both have like this, we're, similar builds, similar like, and, hobbies. There's nobody I know in the mediumship world that's like NPC, like national competitor. Like that's crazy to me.
I know you guys were totally connected.
Yeah.
So it is
So
kind of funny how things align like that.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that are joining, it's kind of scary. Like it's almost like you feel like you're starting the first day of school in a way,
Yeah.
because you're like, who do I don't know anyone. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't know anyone. And
Yeah.
you're like, who's gonna be my friend? You
Well,
know what I
of
mean? But then
course.
you just connect.
And you can't like, if we're going to compare it to school, you can't like crawl up the, kindergarten teacher's butt to like make you feel safe. You know what I mean? Because she's got to teach the whole class. Like you have to figure it out. This
Yeah.
isn't, and there can be, we're flying now in like 2020 and you have to wear a mask and everything's all new and, da, 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 da,
Yeah.
like all of the fear that was out there around all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
it just all ended up being perfect and it was fine. And there was no like, it's fine because I went through it and I had struggles. No, everything went smooth and there was no
Yeah.
problems and everybody was amazing. And I had a great experience with every single person that was in the room.
Yeah.
And I feel like I have a connection with all of them still.
Yeah.
So,
And do you feel like there was one particular part that stands out for you? Like with, you know,
wow.
anything. I know there's so much that happened in the
Yeah,
weekend, but
that's a trick question. I mean, I know it's not that it comes back to Debbie, but I honestly don't think I felt as close to my uncle as I felt like being in this place with so many talented mediums that are coming from a heart center, Um, I know he's always with me. I know I can always stay connected with him, but there was so many different things that continued to happen, like miracle after miracle, and people bringing him through, and all the different synchronicities that I really felt like it was divinely orchestrated. And he's just like my main man on the. I know you're coveting
beautiful.
goosebumps,
I
aren't you?
am.
This is the
This keeps
Lindsay cue.
happening. I know. I know. Isn't it crazy? All in my
Yeah.
head too.
I'm just like trying not to bawl my eyes out because that was just amazing. But, I learned so much from even Natalia. I learned so
Yeah.
much from our different exercises that, you thought everything through and our days were planned so perfectly, as well as our food and what we needed. If we needed a little more grounding, if we needed a
Yeah.
little bit lighter stuff, you know, um, I can't say enough about that. And even our time with Tony and the different coaching things that we have done with him too, which the the retreat happened for me personally after the 90-day mastermind was already finished up. So it was kind of
Yeah.
great to even touch base with Tony on some of the things that we were working through there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. I love that. And I
Yeah.
know it continued on.
Oh, it
Okay,
never
perfect.
stops.
I know. And I want to ask, like, if you felt like you were talking to someone about like after the retreat experience, like when you were leaving, I always say, like, imagine leaving the house, like
Yeah.
what transform, like what could you leave? And like when you went back home, what changed for you, like emotionally, like in your business, in your mediumship?
I mean, my entire life, I want to say up leveled in business and my personal life and my personal healing.
Yeah.
People don't realize that it's all connected. A lot of people don't realize. I think a lot of us do too. I don't want to minimize that, but
Yeah.
in order to be your best self and bring your best self into something as amazing as the work that we get to do, you really have to take responsibility for where you're at and what you need to do and take action steps to move forward, but do it in a way that's intuitively guided, not really that, forceful hustle, I've got to push this direction.
Yeah.
um Everybody that knows me knows that I had some challenges in 2021. And I know without a doubt, that I put everything I possibly could into everything that happened into 2021, where my business was growing while I was literally parked on my couch on oxygen. And I was getting the healing that I needed while, going through some pretty big things. And
Yeah.
my business was very stable, not only
Yeah.
stable, but growing in a way that I've never seen before, and it still continues to see that support and people not even realize how sick I was, because I had so many people in my community step up and really help me.
Yes.
I've past students were literally like running my business with me. Oh, Hope, just rest. I'm going to do this, and this. And I'm like, wow, like like angels just showing up to like keep me running. So
And
never missed a week of my podcast, even if I sounded like a man.
you continued on, and
I
it's
did.
so you've been through a lot, and
Yeah. But
I
I needed
love,
to heal a lot. I needed to
yeah.
heal. And
Yeah.
that's what I asked for, really.
It's interesting how things lead up to these points, and how sometimes we don't even know we need the support until after things happen and we're like, oh,
Yeah.
I needed that piece before,
Yeah.
like to come in, and I needed to connect with other people, and whether it's a retreat or a workshop or just being with friends, like there's so many different synchronistic events that take place.
Yeah.
um
And
and I
all the
think that,
people that you
yeah,
connected me with were really there for me too. Not, not to minimize. I mean, you and Tony did a lot as well, like sending care packages and, but we got everybody together, I think at one point for Reiki and sending me
yeah,
Reiki. And I appreciated that. And it made a huge difference. And all of the friendships that I made through your membership and your retreat, people checking on me like, it's not normal for Hope to go missing this long. Like, let's check and see if
right,
she's okay.
yes,
And what we can
totally,
do. So there was a lot of support in so many ways. I'm grateful. I don't know. Yeah, it makes all the difference, because
yeah,
that was a tough situation.
yes,
So,
yes.
but yeah, on
um
the other side.
Now, thank you for sharing that too.
Yeah.
The last question that I have before I ask you to give us your website too
Sure.
is, if you were talking to someone that was kind of thinking like, should I wait to do the retreat for next year, or should I put it off, or what kind of things would you tell them, um, if you were speaking to their soul?
If you want to go, if you feel drawn, then you make
Yeah.
it happen. And, understand that you're going to be supported. If you feel drawn, you're going to be supported, and you wouldn't have the opportunity if you weren't ready for it.
Yeah. I love
And,
that.
if there's a piece of fear that is keeping you back, might do some automatic writing, sit with your guides, get really clear on why you don't want to move forward. Sometimes people really do have that fear of showing up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what level that you're at when it comes to mediumship, because I mean, I was never intimidated at your place to be right, wrong, or
Yeah,
indifferent. It was, we're all in the safe space, like practicing with each other and supporting
right.
each other. We're all rooting for each other. We want us all to succeed.
It's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Hope, for sharing and just taking the time to talk. And I love seeing you all the time. And I want everyone to hear about like what is the latest, like what have you been up to? Like where can
Yeah.
you direct them to your
So,
website? Like what's your website?
so my website is hopetaylormedium.com. Kept it easy.
Yep, that is
um,
nice and easy.
Yeah, nice and easy. And I do some large in-person group events. I collaborate with amazing people for some online events as well, people that I met through you. So thank you there for those unique friendships that I have across the world, really.
Yeah.
And I have some online personal readings, in-person readings. And my biggest offering is really, I do a 6-month mentorship called the Contemporary Medium. And my focus has always been on really soulful mediumship. We're all here with the purpose of growing and healing, and that's really what it's all about. And if we can bring a little bit more attention to soul readings or soulful mediumship,
Yeah.
not just like the evidence of, like if I were just to describe you a message and be done, I want people to know like the essence, the true essence of their loved ones and what they came here to do and where they, just excelled and what you can still lean on them for and, what they're doing, where they're at today and all of that. So the contemporary medium, and it accommodates all levels of mediumship. So beginner all the way. I had 4 repeating students and 4 brand new, and they're just really excelling. And it's great how everybody works together, if that makes sense.
Yes,
So no
it
one's
totally
ever
does.
held back. Yeah.
I love that. And they can follow you on social media too, right? Your
Yeah.
website, and they can get more information about
Yeah.
that. And then
It's
also on,
mhm.
you can
Yeah.
give your,
So my Instagram is actually Finding Hope Podcast.
yes,
And that's the one thing that's probably not in line with everything else because my website and my Facebook, it's all the same. And even my email is info@hopetaylormedium.com. But I really like putting a lot of information out there for people who might be in a place where maybe they can't afford a reading, but they're really hurting and they're trying to work on themselves and to move forward. And I share a lot of my journey and my story and simple tips on meditation. There's great meditations, even how to figure out how to love yourself if you're struggling with something like that. So I've really put a lot into my podcast if people are wanting to go there too for some free
that's
information.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hope.
Yeah. Thank you for
And I
having
hope
me.
you have a
Appreciate it.
beautiful rest of the day too.
Yes. You as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll talk with you soon.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.